everyone, welcome back to Dyanne and my channel. This is Decoeasy, and of course I am so happy you took the time again to come over and see what Dyanne and I are up to. Today we are doing some Valentine DIYs because Valentine is already around the corner. So I hope you enjoy this. Come along and let's jump into our DIYs. Here you see what we use for this DIY. It's so very simple. I just took a piece of old wood out of my garage. So if you have lying around a little piece of old wood, just make it a little bit shaped like this way. And of course you also can do a square one, but this is a little bit more easy to work with. I am using some little stack blocks because there's some stacking game, you call it Jenga if I am correct, but in that Jenga there's always the greatest nice pieces of wood inside of it. So I'm using always this for DIY, and this is what we're going to use also. You need a couple of them. So this is the only couple thing, and of course a little bit of paint and a little piece of a print, but you will see that later. You see here our little piece of wood. What we're going to do right now, I'm just taking my black schoolboard paint and I'm going to paint this. I think I need one coat in the black color. So you see here, and then it can dry for a moment. I have, because it's all wood, I have a little hole on top of here, but we will work that away. But at least you using everything you have in your stash, because it is always a waste to throw good wood away. So I'm making the best of it. So I'm going to try to make a Valentine countdown sign. So we will see how it will work out. And you see here our little wood plank is already almost dry. What we're going to do right now, we are going to make from those little Jenga blocks, we are going to make a border around our wooden plank, because then we get a nice work, a nice finish of our sign, because it's always looking better if you do it with a little border around it. So I'm using the little blocks, but of course you can use a bigger one. You can use cardboard, anything you like. You can use rope, it's also an idea, but I use the little blocks. So I will glue this around it, and if I am measured out correct, everything will fit, but we will see. So you see here I did all my little blocks around it, and I have to be honest, if you have a piece in a little piece of wood in one piece, then I would always choose for doing one, because the little blocks are always a little bit different sometimes from measurement. So if you have it laying around just in one piece, I always say do the one piece. But of course I still like it. I am going to stain it right now, but with some simple furniture wax, and you can stain it with anything you like. And also you can do, if you like a little bit more of the white chalk paint, it's also fine. I always loving a little bit more of the rustic feeling, so I am going to make this in the brown color. And you see already I have a little bit on it, and then I'm going to do all the sides and the top. And you see already how it changes already only when you do a little bit of furniture wax on top of it. So I will finish this off, and then we're going to do the inside of our sign. You see here already our sign is already drying right now. He is totally into the furniture wax, and I'm going to take 8 of the little blocks, because this is the great measurement, because we are making a countdown. So I'm going to do here 2 little nails on top of here, but I need of course little holes inside of my little blocks, and they are just a great measurement to have here, so I can do some numbers on top of here. So I will use 8 of them, so I'm going to make 8 of them with a little hole inside. And this is what I mean. You see here I did some little holes on here, and I'm going to put some numbers on top of here, because we need from February the 1st until February the 14th. So we need a lot of numbers, but of course we can turn them around. I do 1 over here, the 2 over here, the 3 over here, the 4 over here. And of course, don't forget the 0, because the is also there, because I do 1 and then 0, 1, 0, 2, so you can do the days, and so you have two nice pieces around here. So, but of course you see it in a moment, then you know exactly what I mean. then I explain it to you in English. So I'm going to do the numbers on top of it, and then I'm probably going to white them or just do some stain on top of it. And here you see already our numbers on top of our little blocks, and I did them in the gold color and I did the little blocks in the white chalk paint. Of course I could have waxed them. I was a little bit of wax, furniture wax on top of it, but I just thought maybe white is a little bit more a contrasting color on top of here. So I did the one over here and I did on each side a number, 1, 2, and go on and go on, so we can make 14 days for Valentine. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to place 2 nails instead of here, in here, not instead of here, but but in here. So I'm going to, and then we are going to be able to to hang our little numbers on top of our little sign. And you see, this is what I mean. I did 2 nails on top of here, and I just, now you can hang your little numbers on top of here. I did go to my computer, but I didn't show you that on camera because I think if you see it every time, I think maybe you are bored how I make my signs. But if you still want to see how I make my signs, just let me know in the comments, then I show it to you the next time again. I made 2 of them, and I made one with the red days until Valentine and one with the white. And I'm going to use the white one. So I'm going to Mod Podge this on top of here. So you get, beside the 10, I will do the little tag, and I will Mod Podge on top of here, and then we're going to work it off with a couple of hearts around it. And this is how it looked like with our little print on top of it, and I am so happy how it turned out. I took another print and I just cut out the little hearts to give it also a little festive, Valentine festive festive idea. A festive idea over here. And of course, now you can hang your little numbers on top of here. So I show you now the end reveal. And here you see the finished result of our Valentine countdown sign. And I am so happy how it turned out, especially the black background. I am loving, especially with the red and the pink and the white. So I am very happy how it turned out. And you just saw how easy it was to make from trash wood. I am loving it. Of course, I did the rest of our blocks. I did inside of a little old book. And of course, you can change them up anytime you like. So I am very happy with the end result, and I just hope you got a little bit inspiration from it to make one of your own. And like I said earlier, if you want to use the little print, you can find it in our free printables. So this was it for this DIY.
Hey everyone, it's Dyanne here. Time for a new DIY. Today I'm using this old milk carton from the Lidl. Look, there was just milk in it, and I always take it from the shop because I have free crafting stuff. I want to make a Valentine's DIY with you today, and I'm going to make an envelope with hearts, just like some sort of love letter. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to cut off here these loose flaps, so we have a plain part of cardboard where we can work with. And for that job, I'm just using this knife. Protect the workspace, of course. And then we can start carefully cutting away the loose ends. Just like so, and you can throw this away. I want to take out a smaller piece of the cardboard, so I'm using this one here as a ruler. This one I'm going to throw away. And I'm going to lay it on this line here, the thick line. So I'm sure that I'm going to make a straight cut. Let me check if this one is straight too. Yes, it is. Okay. Then just put this one on the thick line, which I have upon my crafting mat. Take out the knife and then carefully press hard. on the cardboard and on the knife as well. And I hope now I have a clean cut. I think so. Oh yes, this is perfect. Just need to do it once again. And then this will be the front of my envelope. I'm going to put it like this. And then I can cut this one here and here. I cut off a piece here. And I want to have the same cut on this size. So just use my leftover. And don't forget to pull it around so you have the same image. So not do it like this, do it like this. First I start cutting really lightly. Look, and then I have a guideline here which I can cut out better. And then you have exactly the same on both sides. Like so. Okay, I'm back. It's a brand new day and I cut out all the envelopes that I need. This is the back side and this here is the front side. I'll just place it here on top of the back part. I want to paint it silver because I think that's a romantic color. But before I start off with painting, I'm going to do gluing. I just put some fake Mod Podge. This is 17 times. It's cheaper, by the way, than Mod Podge here. This one comes from Action. It's just simple hobby glue. And I'm going to pour that all over the cardboard to prevent the cardboard from, you know, looking ugly when I'm going to paint it. Just pour some here as well. Don't forget the edges, but this here is the most important part. And then I'm going to brush it out and let it dry very well. Do not use a blow dryer or anything else to speed up the process because then it starts to crumble. And I want to have it as flat as possible because I think that looks nicer and high end. I'm using a thick layer as a base, as some sort of primer for the cardboard. And then letting it slowly dry. Don't put it up on the heater. Then it will curl up completely. There is glue all over the place now, and I'm going to rinse my brush and let this dry completely so we can start with spray painting. Okay, I'm done with the silver spray painting. This is how it turned out. It had to dry, but yeah, this is what it looks like. I didn't do this part because I'm going to glue over this one here. Now, this is the envelope, so the base is ready. I see that on camera this part looks a bit weird. I don't know why that is, but in real life it looks cool. Maybe just a reflection because the paper has a little bit of a pattern here or something. I don't know. Now I want to decorate it. And I think I'm going to make hearts out of cardboard. And I'm going to make some hearts prints in Photoshop. And I'm going to put them here and there and there. And yeah, I also want to do something with a bow. And maybe some cute text with "Be mine" or something upon a big heart, and maybe some smaller ones here. Bow here, small ones here, and a big heart here, maybe one out of there on the back. Let's take some measurements and then I'm going to print it and put it upon the cardboard. Okay, I have some prints here made by myself. Here they are. I try to stay in the same color schedule as, yeah, so it can all fit in together. Now I'm going to cut them out. I made for the lighter images, I hope you can see it, a black line around the image. So I know where to cut, not the square part, but the heart shape. Here, you can see it best with this one. This one is really light colored. And now I know I can make a straight cut. Yeah, I think I start first cutting them out. And after that is done, I will just use some glue to put them upon the envelope. Or upon the cardboard, sorry. I have some loose parts here. You can see them here on the screen. And yeah, just going to glue them the same as I did with other paper that of course, I'm gluing a lot of cardboard because it's easy to work with and it's cheap and you can make really good quality DIYs with it. And yeah, for me, it's actually totally free because I always take out old milk cartons from the supermarket, just as these. Okay, I arranged the pictures in some leftovers of the cardboard, and I'm going to glue them into the right place. You can also first cut and then glue, but I thought it was easier to do. Well, let me start off with this one here. Just pour some glue on the back of the... Is this one open? Not properly. Okay, there we go. Just pour some glue on the back. Not too much, just slight amount. Then start brushing out the glue. If you want, you can take a second brush, clean one, where you can brush away the pieces of air that may come underneath your design. Doesn't always have to work out like that. And then start away working from the center, carefully wiping away any air bubbles. And there you have it. I'm going to repeat these steps with the other hearts, and then I'm going to let them dry. And after drying, the part is complete. Just carefully cut this out with your knife or scissors, that also works. Okay, everything is dry, and this is actually the arrangement how I want to glue it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it step by step, where I get some sort of 3D card. This one will be on top. These two will be together. Now there is a little bit of a damaged part of the cardboard, and I think I'm going to use the heart to put it over the damaged part. Then this front section, but the most important to glue first is this one, because the bottom part of the envelope should be around here, I think, so that the heart really comes out of the envelope. That is the idea. Something like this. And I don't think this is a good idea, because then you don't see that it is an envelope. So I will be doing it like this, and maybe here and there I need some extra loose parts of cardboard, for example these flaps here from the carton, to give it a little bit more of a good finish. So I'm going to start gluing now, and then we'll see how it turns out. I just used a brush and some ordinary glue to stick everything together, and then we'll wait till it's dry. And this is what the DIY looks like when everything is glued together. As you can see, I like the silver shining of the envelope, and the hearts are pretty cute too. I put some cardboard here, you can't see it anymore, here in between these layers, between the back of the envelope and the front part. But after gluing, I put a heavy tray up on the whole DIY, and it pressed against the table. Now everything is nice and flat, because it starts to curl up a little bit like this, because of the moisture of the glue. But now it looks pretty cute, as you can ask me. I'm really happy with how the DIY looks like now. I decided I want to have an extra detail on top of the bowl, which is this ribbon, which I bought for $1.75 or $57, sorry, at the garden center. Now I'm going to show you how you can easily make a bow out of ribbon. You only need your fingers, actually. Let me see. Take 2 fingers, put the bow like this, hold it firmly here, wrap around, tuck it in, here. And now I think I have too little, yeah, I need some more fabric. Let's do it again. Here, wrap it around, tuck it in, like so. Make sure that everything is a bit neat. And now what we do, this part goes through here, so where my thumb is basically. Just wrap. It's really difficult for me to film it, sorry. Now just start pulling this part here really tight, and then you get a rather small bow. You can make it bigger, of course, but then you have to hold your fingers more like that. And now we can easily shape it a little bit more, just like so. And I think we're going to put this one on top of the biggest heart. Now this one needs to be twisted because otherwise you see the back of the ribbon. Same for this one here as well. Just cut it off, make some fishtails here, and then your bow is done. And this is what the DIY looks like with the bow. As you can see, it is pretty tiny, but yet cute on top of the big heart. Well, some more inspiration for your Valentine's Day decor. You can hang it up or put it everywhere where you want to. You can also surprise your loved one with it or your children. Whatever you want, it's totally up to you. Just some inspiration how you can make a really cheap DIY out of actually, most of the rubbish.
Before we go further to our next DIY, I have to tell you that this video is also part of a beautiful collaboration Dyanne are doing together with Lianep from DIY Beauty on Purpose. Lianep is such an amazing creator. You have to go check her channel out. She makes the most beautiful things. So if you like farmhouse, you like DIYs, you have to go check it out. Of course, I have a link down below in my description box for her channel. So enough talking, let's jump into our next DIY. And here you see the main piece we need for our next Valentine DIY. And we are going to make a Valentine jar for as a sign. You see here I have just a piece of scrap wood of MDF. At least that's what we call it over here. You also can use a piece of thicker cardboard. That's just what you have laying around. So don't buy especially something for it. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to my computer. I'm going to make a print. A silhouette print from a jar, and of course I will place the silhouette also in our free printables. So if you want to make the Valentine jars also, you can find there all the prints and all the silhouettes I use. So for now I'm going to make my print and then I show you what I did make. So this is how my print turned out. I made a bigger one and I made a smaller one. So I'm going to make, of course, like I said, a large jar and a little bit of a medium jar. So I'm going to cut them out and then we're going to measure them out on our MDF wood. Here are my jars when they are cut out, and of course I'm going to draw the lines with it with some permanent text marker. Of course you can use a pencil if you can see it a little bit better like but I'm an old lady already, so my eyes are getting a little bit old. So I'm going to use the black text marker, so when I do it with my jigsaw I can see a little bit better what the contours are for my jar. So let's go outside and just cut out our jars. And here you see already my two jars. Of course, they are some little places. It was a little bit hard to cut them out, but I think they are looking like jars. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to give them a base coat with Mod Podge. So when I do my print on top of it, it won't, the Mod Podge doesn't suck into our wood. So I'm give them first a coat of Mod Podge only. So, but it's very easy. I think you already know how to Mod Podge your piece. So just take the Mod Podge or glue, just what you use. Just give it one coat so everything is already have a layer before you do your print on top of it. And just let it dry. But everyone is doing the Mod Podge his own way. Just do the way you think it's right. So I'm going to let this dry for a moment and then we are going to my computer, and then I print out a little wood print so I can do the wood print on top of here, and then we're going to do another print. So it is the day of the prints today, so but you can find them, like I said, you can find them all in our pre-printables. you see the prints we just made. I used inderdaad the Love Potion and the Candy Love, and I am really liking that I also have a little bit of the wood tone on top of our label. First I'm going to do our jar with the piece of the wood print, and then we're going to place the label over here. So I'm going to cut out this one and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of our jar. So I will show you what I do with the little one. So I'm going to do, this one is almost dried up, so I'm giving a second coat from Mod Podge, but only until here, because the top of the jar the lid we are going to make black later on. So but for now we are going to do a little bit of the Mod Podge on top of here again. So what I'm going to do right now, because I always think that works a little bit better, I'm just going to lay down my piece a little bit so I can get the finish of the wood a little bit in the middle of my jar. So I'm going to measure out a little bit. So I have the middle one of the little wood structure over here. So I'm going to push it over and just go ahead around the lines so you can see the jar through it. And I'm going to let it dry for a moment. You see, it looks a little bit strange, but later on you will see this will work out fine. At least I hope so. And later on we are going to cut it out. And here you see already I have both of them, the prints on top of here, and I just did on top until the lid, because like I said, we are going to give this a little bit of a black color. But what I just did cut them out, but you see already I did some lines are still not very nice to see. So I'm going to take a sanding tool. So I think you already know, I know how we call it here in the Netherlands is a vel, but I don't know how you call it really in English. So, but you can sand with it. So I'm going to show it to you with the smaller one, and I'm just going to go beside the lines and just do the little paper, what's left of it. I'm just going to sand it off so you get a nice side. So I'm going to do with both of them, and then we are going to do the lid. And here you see the result. It's so nice to do with the sanding, because now you get a nice shape around your jar. What I'm going to do, I just took some black schoolboard paint, and I'm just going to paint the lid in the base black. And later on we're going to distress it a little bit with a little bit of the gray and brown, just of a little bit white, just a little bit to give it a little bit more an idea of a real lid. So I'm going to do this one, and then we are going to distress it a little bit. So you see the lids are in the black color. What I did take, did take a little brown, and I did it on a little piece of kitchen towel, and I'm just going to dab it in the brown color. I hope you can see it over here. So I'm just going to dab it and just going to make little pieces in the brown color. Not a lot, but little pieces, so it gives a little bit more of an old look of your jar. So I'm going to do both of them, and then I'm going to Mod Podge our little print on top of the front of our jar. You see the result of our distressing, and of course you see already with the big jar I did a little bit distressing on top of my jar of the white on the white of my wood structure, and of course, but we work that away because we are going to finish it off with some ribbon, so you won't see that. So you have to be careful if you are distressing it. Don't take a little bit of a too bigger brush. I should have used a little bit of a smaller one. What I'm going to do, like I said, is we are going to take our prints and I'm going to cut them out, and I'm going to look how they are looking like on top of our jar, if I needed bigger ones or smaller ones. So we are going to see. So, and this is how they look like with the label on top of it. So I'm going to Mod Podge both of them on our jar. So I will do the one of them together with you, because I think you already know how to Mod Podge your label on top of here. So I'm going to do one with you and the other one I'm going to do out of camera. So I'm going to lay this one a little bit higher because of course if you like it a little bit in the middle better it's also fine, but I think I like it a little bit better over here. So I'm just going to work a little bit with it, so give it a nice place. So this is the height I took, but of course you can take any height. If you want to have a little bit lower, just do it whatever you think is right. But I think already he looks very nice. And here they are when they are all, both of them are much pots on top of it. What I'm going to do, you don't have to do it because I want to use them in my kitchen. I'm going to give them a second coat of mud podge over it, so it gives a little bit more of a sealing. So when there is water drops on top of here, not my totally picture is going to run out. So I'm going to give it a second layer of mud podge. Here you see already they both have now a second layer of Mod Podge. What I'm going to do instead of a ribbon, but if you like ribbon better, it's also fine to just do whatever you think you like and it's fitting for your decor. I'm going to do a couple of turns around it, around the under the lid and between the jar. So I'm just going to do a couple of turns so it gives a little bit more of a rustic feeling. So I will do that and do probably on top of here a little bow. And here you see a little bit what I did with the twine. Of course, this is free for you to do. You don't have to do it. Just give it your own twist on it. I thought it gives a little bit more of the rustic feeling. For the finished result, you will see I will place a bow, a simple bow over here, and probably maybe I will distress it a little bit around the sides because I think I like it a little bit more of the rustic feeling. So, but you will see that in the finished result if I did that or not. And here you see the finished result of our two easy made Valentine jars. And of course I did distress it a little bit, just a little bit with the black and with the brown, the same a little bit like I did the lid. So I am really happy how this easy Valentine jar DIY turned out. So I hope you just got, like with all our DIYs, get a little bit inspired and just to make one of your own. And like I said earlier, you can find the print in our free printable. So go ahead and use it if you like to make one of your own. So this was it already for today's video. We hope you just enjoyed watching. And if you like this content, I hope you will consider subscribing to Dyanne and my channel. We would love to have you on our YouTube family. So everyone, we wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. Stay safe, take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we hope to see you in our next video. Love from the enemy. Bye.